Okay, so first of all, let me go to Savannah's mom. So Savannah's mom, look at this charge. I looked it up. I don't have like a ton of little details, but I do have the charge. Hold on one sec. Failed to stop and give info over $2. $1,500 for bond. What? She failed to stop to give info over $2. So it was like something involving $2 and she wouldn't give info. Are you serious? Wow. So that's that. Now, as far as all right, so we have arraignment 314. So that's tomorrow. Released from jail. So she was released yesterday or today. Sorry, today. I'm like, we're going backwards. So she was released today. So she must have made bail. Bond made. She made the $1,400 bond. See if there's any. Awaiting appearance. So case status date is 8/19/23. So I don't know. It was from before the whole, before the murder is when it happened. 8/19, August 19th. Failed to stop to give info over $2. Wow. So we have, yeah, a release from jail, offender, warrant, booked. Oh, wait. But back when it happened, wait a minute. Hold on a second. So back, charge record. Hold on, I want to look at this. 8/19, attorney appointed. 8/19, defendant, attorney appointed. And then we have county court assigned. 8/19, waiting appearance. So she made bond back then when it happened for $750, went on bond, booked. So she released on bond on 8/21 after it happened, right? Um, and then it looks like she probably didn't go to her next thing, I'm guessing. So a warrant went out on a misdemeanor. Now, when you have a warrant on a misdemeanor, they don't come to your house looking for you. They only do that on felony warrants. So they're not going to go out and like looking for the person actively. But if they get pulled over or they're in the courthouse and they are aware, then they will just arrest you. So yeah, she made bond the first time and then just must not have showed up. Let's see, file sent to court, impact sent, bond increase, warrant issued. So file recorded in court. So I'm guessing appointment of attorney field. I'm guessing she didn't go to court the next week or something, right? Because then it says the warrant issued 9/19. So there's been a warrant out. So something had to happen between where she got released, August 22nd, got released from jail after it originally happened, and then by not even a month later, almost a month later, there's another warrant out for her. So between that month, she probably failed to appear. Is what I'm getting, right, guys? I wish it would show somewhere where it says like failed to appear, but I'm guessing this is what maybe this court stuff. File sent to court. That's the only thing I could guess, that she didn't appear. Because when you're on bond, you're promising to like go to all your stuff. I mean, they expect you. So that's why some people don't get released, because they could just take off, but they expect you're going to make your next hearing, right? And a lot of the times, so when you get a bond, like let's say you get a bondsman and get, like you just post it all, but let's say you don't. Let's say you get like the bond and then if you're like a risk, they might not want to do it, but because they get paid as long as you make it to the next hearing. They get paid back. You know what I'm saying? So they basically spot you the money, because then when you make it to your next hearing, as long as you make it, then they get paid. If that makes sense. I hope I described that right. Okay, sometimes I don't explain things very well on lives. Now I'm editing it, so I have time to sit back and actually think about how to explain it better. So those of you that aren't familiar with how bondsmen work and how bonds work. So, for instance, if you get a bondsman, they could charge anywhere from 8% to 15%. They could charge whatever. Normally it's typically around 10%. Let me take that back. They can't charge whatever. There's like a limit where, I don't know what, if each county has certain like rules where you can't charge too much. Actually, I looked up to see if there is like a limit, and it says some states have put a cap of 8% on the amount charged. So it just depends where you live, but it's usually around 10%, okay? So basically that 10% that you are paying the bondsman, you don't get it back. That is like what they charge to pay your full bond. So for instance, if Ramon pays a bondsman and they charge 10% and his bonds end up, because both charges, he got reduced a little bit, but they end up being $450,000, right? So either he pays the $450,000, and then as long as he makes it to the next hearing, he gets it back. He'll get the $450,000 back. It's like a surety that you will show up to your court hearings, your proceedings, everything that has to do with your case, whether it be if you go to trial or whatever that may be, that as long as you show up for all that stuff, you'll get it back. Now that's if you pay the full amount to the courts. It's different if you pay a bondsman the 10%. There's some downfall to that. It's like, oh, you only have to pay 10%. Yeah, but you don't get it back. You don't get that 10% back. That's what they make for paying your full amount. So if he goes and goes through a bondsman, he'll only have to pay $45,000 if 10%, right? But he doesn't get that $45,000 back when he goes to court. That's the fee. Basically, that's how the bondsman makes their money, right? So it's tricky. It's like, I know, how is he going to have $450,000, but $45,000 is a lot to just have to pay. If he could come up with that $450,000, he'll get it back as long as he goes to his next hearing. But I don't know where he's going to come up with that kind of money. Okay, I just wanted to explain that a little bit better, because I feel like most of you guys probably know, but maybe some of you guys don't know how it works. So for instance, for Gloria, hers is $1,400. So she could just pay the $1,400 herself, and then when she shows up to all her next hearings or court dates, she gets it back, okay? Now she pays, let's say she wants to go for a bondsman for that. If she doesn't have the $1,400, she'll have to pay $140. That's her fee. He pays the $1,400, the bondsman, okay? Out of his own money, pays $1,400. She goes to court, he gets the $1,400 back, plus he gets to keep the $140 he got from her. Okay, so, but really big paydays are the big bonds, because if Ramon and Murda get a bail's bondsman for theirs, that guy will be making some money. He'll make profit $45,000 off of Ramon and $65,000 off of Murda. $110,000 he'll make off of them too, if they go the bonds way, and the bondsman charges 10%. So that means Murda and Ramon are out $110,000. They're out because they don't get it back. They don't get nothing back if they make it back to court. The bondsman. So the bondsman, you better believe the bondsman will make sure they make it to their court hearings. They'll make sure somehow, because they need to collect that money. If they don't make it, they don't get the money. I mean, the bondsman won't. So they got to make it to all their hearings after that and all the proceedings and stuff. So I'm sure they have, I don't know, it depends on which bondsmen that are going to take that high of a amount, be able to do that high of amount. They probably have some kind of safeguards, whether it be like their own bounty hunters or, just people making sure, following you. I mean, who knows how they do it, but they got to make sure they get their money. And these are criminals they usually deal with. And usually the people that have high bond amounts are usually, criminals, serious criminals usually, or people, I guess you should say people that are desperate, that, you know what I'm saying? They're desperate enough that they would try to get out of it rather than go to jail for a long time. Because if they have that high of a bond, they are looking at some serious time, I'm guessing. So I hope I described that right. Yeah, most of you guys probably realize how it works. But anyway, I think it looks like she probably just didn't make it to the next hearing. So then, yeah, the warrant was issued 9/19, arraignment set 9/19, warrant received 9/27. Whoa, hold on. So she went back and then released on bond again? Oh no, that's today. That's this. Oh my God. I was like, sorry guys. Never mind. That was yesterday. Okay. So yeah, so she must have just missed something. Over $2 or just not. I wonder what it was that made her not want to show her information. If it was because she was scared. Like, did she have another warrant out or something? Hold on. Let me see something. No, because it said over $2. So yeah. So the bond was set to $1,400 back in September. And then, so they have the warrant, and then finally they get her. Huh, very interesting. And then she made bond, so hopefully she makes sure that she gets there to the next thing. Warrant returned, warrant executed. See, what I don't understand is this says arraignment set, but they didn't have her at the time, right? She must not have made it to her arraignment. I don't know. I'm probably confusing me, more, but basically it had to be something like that. She didn't show up to her hearing. It's got to be, right? You guys think? So yeah. So hopefully she does what she needs to now and gets to that next hearing, because it's just a misdemeanor. It's not going to be anything serious. So it's not worth it, So hopefully she'll do it up, get it all taken care of. And, yeah. Sometimes it's crazy, because I'm not saying this is the case, but there'll be some instances where people don't even know that they have court for some reason, because sometimes you get out and maybe you're not aware. I mean, it is your responsibility. You should know, but I feel like sometimes it could be where sometimes they just don't, or they forget about it or something, and they don't even realize that they had a hearing. They think it's all taken care of, but I'm not saying that's the case, but I feel like sometimes, at least I guess that's what they say, but maybe people would use that as an excuse. I didn't realize I had court. I just left. Because they try to be very clear when they're releasing you. Let's say, when they arrested her and then they released her on bond, they usually make it pretty clear. Well, they try to, I guess. They send you all this paperwork. Okay, you have to appear here, but sometimes it can get confusing though. Your hearing's this, and you got to do this, and go talk to that, and present all this crap. So yeah, I can see how it could get confusing. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I have. Bye, guys.